After months of off-season training and practices, the wait is over as high school sports have returned for another action-packed fall season. Hello and welcome back to Naperville Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Kim Pierce. We've got a great show to swing into our 19th season of bringing you the best in local prep sports highlights and stories. And speaking of long waits, last fall Neuqua Valley and Waubonsie Valley football did not play each other for the first time since 1998. So the longtime rivals were eager to kick off the 2025 campaign at Dick Kerner's Stadium with the Warriors hosting the Wildcats.
It's rivalry night to kick off football season as Neuqua Valley travels to face Waubonsie Valley. It's the first meeting between the two teams in 2 years as Neuqua looks to extend its win streak against Waubonsie, while the Warriors are looking to get their first win over the Wildcats since 2018. Second drive for Waubonsie, Colin Ford throws it short for Gavin Ali Hanlon, but it's too high and tipped off his hands. Pierce Stevens makes the sliding play for the interception to give Neuqua a short field. A couple plays later, Andy Barkley gets the handoff and goes beast mode, shaking off several tackles before rumbling his way down to the 5-yard line, setting up the Wildcats in the red zone. A few plays later, the drive is capped off by the man who started it as Stevens gets the pitch and plunges forward for the touchdown to put the Cats up 7-0 off the turnover. After a few more plays, Neuqua's defense cashes in once more. Ford fakes the handoff and throws a slant to Benciago, but it's off his hands. Colton Mehta makes another sliding play for the pick. Neuqua sets up again with quality field position. Now in the red zone, the give is to Barkley, who surges ahead and hops his way into the end zone to make it a 14-0 lead for Neuqua. The Warriors would add 2 field goals later in the half to make it 14-6 Neuqua at halftime. We jump ahead to the third quarter. Ford looks to open up the passing game and chucks it deep for Ali Hanlon. It's a toss-up for the ball, and as the Warrior faces interference, he makes the catch on a 41-yard reception to put Waubonsie in scoring position. Neuqua's defense bounces back as Ford throws it to Siago, but it's intercepted again by Mehta to keep it an 8-point advantage for Neuqua. Moving to the fourth quarter, Barkley enters beast mode again as he somehow shuffles past the pile and has green grass ahead of him. He is off to the races and dashes into the end zone for his second touchdown of the night. This one a 65-yarder to make it a 21-6 point lead for Neuqua in the waning minutes of the game. However, momentum shifts. On the ensuing Neuqua possession, Will Tracy goes untouched and shuts down the run on 4th and 1. The Cats recover the fumble, but it's a turnover on downs with a Warriors ball at midfield. A couple of plays later, Ford rolls right, avoids the rush, and floats it to James Stansel, who rumbles forward for a 23-yard gain to keep the Warriors very much alive. Now on 4th and 11, it's do or die. Ford throws the screen to Abriel Epting, and with multiple defenders in front of him, he slips 4 Neuqua tackles and pushes in for the touchdown, as the Warriors cut the Wildcats' lead down to 8, still with over 4 minutes left to play. On Neuqua's next possession near midfield, they look to run down the clock, but Drake Meneke's pass is off Josh Repman's hands and intercepted by Jack Thurn as the Warriors have the ball near midfield with over 2 minutes left. Ford and Epting work their magic with another screen. This time, Epting evades 5 tackles and gets a huge first down for Waubonsie. Now at the 25-yard line with the earth shaking, Ford loads up and throws it for Ali Hanlon, but the receiver can't hang on to the ball. Waubonsie looks for one more chance to tie up the game. With zeros on the clock, last chance for the Warriors. Ford rolls to his right and looks for an open man, but Neuqua's pass rush breaks through as Ford throws incomplete and the buzzer beats. Neuqua Valley hangs on to claim a season-opening 21-13 win over Waubonsee, extending their win streak over the Warriors to 6 games. It's their first season opener victory since 2022, and they have their home opener next Friday against Minooka, while Waubonsee goes on the road to face New Trier.
The high school football season is here, and we have a showdown featuring two teams that won a combined 21-3 last season. Naperville Central comes in looking to build off its 8A semifinal run as the Redhawks welcome Oswego. The Panthers are coming off a 10-win season that ended in the second round against the 8A runner-up York. The Redhawks throw sophomore QB Ethan Tryon under center, and he wants his first throw back because a diving Cameron Logmani picks it off. Panthers feed off the turnover with Drew Kleinens finding an open Teddy Manikis for the touchdown. Oswego strikes first with a 7-0 lead. The two connect again. Kleinens finds Manikis, and he hauls it in for another big play. Kleinens scores to make it 14-0 Oswego. Kleinens continues to display his deadly arm. He finds a new target in Mariano Velasco, and he shifts directions by leaving defenders in the dust for a 40-yard touchdown. On the next possession, the visitors try the run. Decker Zelenskik finds a wide-open gap, and he sees nothing but green grass ahead of him. 84 yards later, it's another Panther touchdown to culminate in a 28-0 halftime lead. The Redhawks defense starts the second half with positive vibes as Matt Garrett sacks Kleinens for a loss. However, Tryon cannot capitalize on the momentum because he throws another interception to Quentin Jackson. Tryon leaves the game with an injury, so the Hawks throw in junior Jackson Loth. He hits an open Decker McDonald to move the chains past midfield. Loth ends the drive by throwing a touchdown to who else but McDonald. The Redhawks get a safety and a late touchdown, but it's Oswego taking the win 31-15.
A new football season comes into view at Husky Stadium with the Trevians of New Trier in town to face Naperville North. North dominated 42-14 in their matchup last year, but New Trier looks to turn over a new leaf in 2025 with junior quarterback John Ryder under center. On the Huskies' first drive of the game, they find themselves on a 4th and 6. Josiah Nothacker looks to Finian Bretag, but the pass is incomplete. It's early frustrations for Naperville North. 1st and 10 from the 33 as Declan O'Meara hits a hole for New Trier, breaking through 2 defenders at the second level, and he isn't going to lose the foot race from there. New Trier strike first with 3:35 left in the first quarter. A QB change for North. Dante Colasante has 3rd and 21, but he also has an open Jack Zitko down the field. Zitko charges ahead past midfield for the first down. The Huskies are on the move. It's the second quarter now, and the Huskies' drive reaches 4th down. Colasante faces quick pressure and slips as he steps up in the pocket. It's another 4th down stand from the Trevian defense. The flag doesn't change the result of the play. Later in the quarter, Nothacker is back in the game and he hands it to William Elo on 4th down. Elo catches the outside and he gains enough for a first down into the Trevian 5-yard line. 2 plays later, Nothacker has an option and he fakes the run for Elo. He's got one man to beat on the outside and he speeds in for the equalizer. North tie it up 7-7 with 4:38 left in the half. 2nd and 10 for New Trier on their next possession, and Ryder looks down the field for Alexander Fairchild. Owen Ferguson, though, is called for pass interference, and it's a lot of field position picked up for the visitors. Not long after that, Ryder rolls out to his right, but turns and flips it to O'Meara. The North defense is completely caught off guard, and New Trier take a 14-7 lead into halftime. The Trevians face a 3rd down on their first drive of the half. Indiana commit Gabe Hill swarms Ryder and forces him into a bad throw. It's 3 and out for New Trier. It's 3rd and 10 for Nothacker and company. Bretag is wide open down the field, but the connection is not there. A sure touchdown becomes 4th and 10. On the ensuing 4th and 10, Nothacker rolls out and he's hit in the head as he throws. That earns a roughing call from the refs, and despite the incompletion, North stay alive on the drive. North take quick advantage of the new set of downs with this run from Mason Hill. The junior storms down to the 1-yard line on this run. He was 1 yard short on the last run, so they make sure he gets it on this play. Hill's touchdown and the point after tie the game at 14 with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. New Trier are first on offense in the fourth quarter. Here's O'Meara on another breakout. He looks to go down near the 40, but with help from Anthony Aguilar, he gets dragged forward for another 10 yards. They're deep in Husky territory. Ryder's got his receivers all out wide on 3rd and long. He looks right at first, but he stops up and launches one straight towards the end zone. Kiefer Baxter's there, he goes up and he comes down with it, pushing New Trier up 20-14 in the final quarter. On the point after attempt, Hill barrels through the line to stuff the kick. The game stays at 20-14. After a North 3 and out, New Trier looks to extend their lead. O'Meara gets another handoff, but Hill gets a hold of him and pops the ball loose. After falling on it, there's a small pause, but Hill pops out with no helmet, but he has a better prize for himself and the team. North retake possession with 6:42 left in the game. After driving down the field, the Huskies have a do-or-die 4th down. Nothacker runs a similar play to his touchdown run, but this time he has way less space to go to. Senior linebacker Aaron Pressman squares him up and leads the charge, and that's all New Trier needs to seal the game. The Trevians avenge their 2024 loss, and they start the season 1-0. Naperville North will have to look for its first win on the road at Libertyville next week.
It's not only the boys hitting the gridiron this fall. Flag football makes its debut in District 203 this year, and we'll have our first ever flag highlight after the break.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
When it comes to buying a car, you want a deal that's fair, and that's exactly what you'll get at Fair Oaks Ford. It's why J.D. Power has named us the best customer experience in the business 4 years in a row. You know you'll experience fairness every step of the way. Right now, it's all about the zeros. Get 0% APR, $0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days on our most popular models. Fair pricing, fair deals. Fair Oaks Ford. It's right there in our name. Visit us on Ogden Avenue in Naperville or at fairoaksford.com.
The IHSA made flag football an official sport, with the first state series in Illinois history being held last season. This year, Bennett Academy, Naperville North, and Naperville Central will be playing a full season of games for the first time. The Red Hawks recently held their inaugural home opener against Rosary as the new program hits the ground running.
It's time for our first ever IHSA flag football highlight, with Naperville Central hosting the Rosary Royals. It's just the second year that the IHSA has offered the sport, and it's the first year that our local teams are competing. Central, Naperville North, and Bennett will all field squads this fall. Rosary enters its second year as a team and lost to Yorkville in the 2024 regional semis. On the very first play of Red Hawk flag football history, Rosary rolls out to the right and throws, but it's bobbled and into the hands of Central's Malia Shen. The senior, who also shines on the soccer team, makes her presence felt right away on the football fields. Can't draw up a better start, and Central leads 6-0 after a missed 1-point attempt. After forcing a turnover on downs, Central now has the ball on offense. Lila Hope takes the snap, hands it off to Rosa Namaza, who reverses it to Nicole Smith. The senior has green grass in front of her, taking the ball all the way across midfield. After both sides get stopped a couple of times on offense, we're now at the opening of the second quarter. Hope takes the snap, rolls to the right, and finds Maya Stoner in the flat, who takes it upfield for a first down. Hope drops back to pass and lost one deep downfield into tight coverage. Rosary's Zoe Messner picks it off and gets immediately tackled by Stoner. The Royals can't muster anything on offense and are now forced to punt. Smith receives it, looks for some open room, and is off. She takes Central's first ever punt return 25 yards and deep into Rosary territory. Halfway through the second, the Redhawks look to take advantage of good field position. Hope steps into the throw and finds Shen on the corner route. Shen muscles her way to the 5-yard line for a nice gain. On the next play, the Redhawk quarterback does a great job finding her center in Elizabeth Delbosque. Hope's pass is perfect, and Delbosque reels it in. She's also the lone Redhawk to have in-game IHSA experience after playing for Romeoville High School. After a missed conversion, Central leads 12-0. Rosary gets a spark here with a nice pass from Bello to Elizabeth Tolentino, who reels it in over her shoulder. The Royals are driving on offense, but not for long. It's Shen again with another Redhawk interception. She looks to return it the distance, but eventually gets her flag pulled across midfield. The red and white head to punt, and Rosary is back with the ball with under 2 minutes left in the half. Bello throws, and Stoner reads it perfectly on defense for the interception. Stoner outruns the Royals and heads to the end zone, but the score is called off for an illegal block. The pick still counts though, and the Redhawks lead 12-0 at the half. The Royals have possession in the third, and it's 4th and 11. Bello scrambles to the right and throws a perfect ball to Tolentino for a first down. Very next play, the Bello to Tolentino connection is back again for the Royals. The QB throws a dime to Tolentino for the Royals' first score of the season. Central still leads 12-6 with 7 minutes left in the third. The Redhawk attack gets cooking. Hope finds Grace Kozelski, who laterals it to Stoner. The Redhawk track athlete sprints across the 40 for a first. Later in the drive, Hope takes the snap and throws a perfect ball in a tight window to Shen. It's Shen's second touchdown after the pick six and Hope's second passing tutty of the night. On the 1-point conversion, Mazza takes the ball off the motion and sprints past everyone to give the red and white a 19-6 lead in the final minutes of the third. Into the fourth, Rosary needs something on offense. However, Shen is there for another Redhawk pick, her third of the night. Naperville Central holds on to defeat Rosary 19-6 for the program's first ever victory.
When we come back, we'll hit the links to see who looks to be in midseason form as the golf season rolls along.
Put your business front and center at NCTV 17's The Morning Show. Sponsorship opportunities are now available for this energizing event, hosted by NBC5 news anchor Stephen Holt on Thursday, November 14th at the Matrix Club. There's an opportunity for every business and every budget. So help us in fueling our mission while boosting your brand and become a sponsor of The Morning Show.
Last week, Naperville North Boys Golf won the Vern McGonigal Memorial Tournament for the first time in over a decade. Let's see if the Huskies can keep the momentum going against crosstown rival Naperville Central at Naperbrook Golf Course.
Let's put our way to Naperbrook Golf Course for a Crosstown Showdown Boys Golf Edition. Naperville North and Naperville Central get set to tee off for the DVC opener as both teams finish up the second week of the IHSA golf season. On the first hole, Colin Mills putts right off the green, and the roll gets close to the pin for Mills to par. He sinks it and golfs a round of 37. Zach Boynton lines up his third shot off course, but keeps his cool and hits the target via the green. Boynton locks up the par and also golfs a 37. Graham Kavanaugh is off the left side of the green, but just like Boynton, he is able to find the spot despite the uneasy task. Jackson Person gets things started on the fourth green with the laser of a tee shot that falls not too far from the cup and ends this goal with a par. Back to Kavanaugh, who caps off the fourth hole with a par and walks away with a solid score of 38. Shifting to the Huskies, where Henry Homiser rips a bullet that lands onto the dance floor. Aiden Shee may have had a super strong tee shot, but cleans up the mess with a long putt that culminates in a birdie. A great putt by Shee. To hole 7, where Trevor Schmidt takes an approach, and it's good enough to find the landing zone. Schmidt pars and golfs a 38. The Redhawks keep up the pace as Logan Green displays a good lag putt on the 9th green. It comes up short of the pin, but Green sinks the par to end his day. Person wants to cap off his round on a high note, so he connects on the short birdie. For the Huskies, they save their best for last as Homiser pars and ties with teammate Mills for the second best score at 37. So who's golfing the lowest score for North? The answer comes from freshman Will Provenzano, who secures the par to maintain an even score of 36 and a Naperville North victory as the Huskies take it by 1 stroke over the Redhawks.
There have been some excellent kickers to come through the Naperville area football programs in recent years, but the Naperville Central kicking game has featured the same family tree for over a half-decade. Patrick Cotto has more in our latest feature story presented by Fair Oaks Ford.
Gavin Ellison is not just entering his final season for the Naperville Central football team, but he will close the chapter as the final Ellison brother to compete as the starting kicker for the Red and White. Before playing varsity his junior year, he watched his older brothers Aiden and Logan take on kicking duties for the Redhawks, in addition to playing on the defensive side of the ball.
We all just loved the game, grew up watching it, and we were so excited to play. And we just felt like might as well play high school. And then we started kicking since we were in 8th grade, I'd say. We all grew up playing soccer, so we knew how to kick a ball, and it went to just learning all the dynamics and just the little things to learn how to kick.
Aiden was the first to become a varsity kicker for the Ellison clan as a junior in 2019. He started kicking thanks to practice spent on the soccer pitch, while his 2 younger brothers began to follow in his footsteps.
The more that I started kicking, the more that they started picking up on it, and the more that they started looking up to me, and they realized that it was something that they could possibly take on. And they wanted to form their own path, but also follow the Ellison name at Naperville Central. Me and Logan came out to retrieve his balls when he would try and kick, and then I fell in love with kicking then. Just seeing my brother do it and him succeed, and just trying to become better and better.
Every Ellison has done their part for the Naperville Central kicking game, whether it was splitting the uprights or pitting opponents deep on kickoffs and punts. Logan and Gavin played crucial roles during their time with the Redhawks, with each brother nailing game-winning field goals against crosstown rivals Naperville North in their junior campaigns. Despite their success on special teams, the brothers bring more to the gridiron than just talented legs.
They're football players. All 3 of them have played defense. Aiden was an outside linebacker. Logan was a free safety. Gavin plays corner and maybe some safety for us too, and they're just football players.
Head coach Mike Ulrich coached on the defensive side during Aiden's junior and senior years before taking over as head coach in 2021. So he knew what the younger boys had in their toolkits as future defensive and special teams weapons.
Anytime you have an older brother and you hear that there's some younger ones in the pipeline, you're always excited about it. And this family has been, again, a source of stability and consistency for us, that's for sure.
2 of the 3 Ellison brothers will remain strapped up on the football field this fall, with Aiden back in his hometown kicking for the defending Division III national champions, North Central College. Gavin looks for a strong senior year following a successful junior season in which the Redhawks went 11-2, making a run to the state semifinals. While he is unsure if he will play in college, the youngest Ellison is ready to leave the final mark on the family legacy.
I feel like I have more of a responsibility this year compared to last year, since we had a lot of great leaders last year, and I definitely say I'm very excited to lead my team.
For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Patrick Cotto.
Metea Valley football faced off against Downers Grove South this week in a battle of the Mustangs for Metea's season opener. After a long touchdown was called back due to a penalty, Metea responds on the very next play. Zolan Terry takes the reverse and there's no one on that side of the field. It goes 66 yards to the house, giving Metea the lead 20-19. The play was a great handoff to Zolan, and his team left him the perfect opening for the long run TD. In the end, Metea claimed victory over Downers Grove South 35-19. The program's first Week 1 win since 2014.
Coming up next, let's wrap up this week's show on the soccer pitch before taking a peek at our play of the week.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow.
I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged.
2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee.
Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack.
Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them.
So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one?
That one I like a lot.
BMO. 2 dealerships side by side, identical in every way. What makes the difference? The experience. That's why more people choose Fair Oaks Lincoln. Incredible selection, knowledgeable salespeople, and a world-class experience you can't find anywhere else. Right now, get 0% APR, $0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days on our most popular models at Fair Oaks Lincoln in Naperville.
The boys' soccer season should be hotly contested, as always this fall, with a sectional packed with contenders. We start the year with a rare opening week conference clash, with Metea Valley hosting Neuqua Valley.
As the school year kicks in, so does boys soccer at Metea Valley High School. The Mustangs face off against the Wildcats as both teams kick off their regular DVC matchup. The Mustangs are looking to get on the board as Ethan Arbetman kicks for goal, only for Wildcat Oscar Marchanowski to dive in for the save. After some long-distance passes, Arbetman looks for the goal, but Marchanowski comes out of the net for the catch. It's a no-score game throughout the remainder of the first half. Jumping into the second half of the game, Wildcat Ian Van Horn shooting from the corner to get the Wildcats on the board. Mustang Chase Grossrenaud is open for the save. Wildcats have a shot for a penalty kick from Van Horn once more. Van Horn's kick deflects off a few Mustang players and Grossrenaud dives for the save as the game is still at 0. It's Metea Valley's turn for a penalty kick. Arbetman makes the kick for a clean shot past the goalie as the Mustangs are on the board 1-0, with huge excitement from Arbetman and the rest of the team on the field, and 17 minutes remaining on the clock. About a minute left into the first, Wildcat Brendan Pacindo looks to score. The ball loops over towards the goal as Grossrenaud jumps up for the save. The Mustangs get off to a good start for the regular DVC matchup as they take home a 1-0 win over Neuqua Valley. Naperville Central hosted Rosary in the school's first ever IHSA flag football game. Red Hawk Malia Shen makes history on the opening play. Rosary rolls out to the right and throws, but it's bobbled and into the hands of Shen. The senior makes her presence felt right away on the football field. Can't draw up a better start. We're going to roll it back and watch that historic first play one more time. Shen grabs the ball and weaves between the Royals as well as her own teammate and finds the opening with quick footing. Once she makes it to the 10-yard line, it's a clear breakaway, and the rest is history. Shen would go on to record 2 more interceptions and a receiving touchdown.
And that wraps up this week's episode of Naperville Sports Weekly. We're thrilled to see what Season 19 has in store for our local teams and athletes. And you can find all of our highlights, feature stories, and community sports on nctv17.org. And you can also find us across all social media platforms at NCTV17. For Naperville Sports Weekly, I'm Kim Pierce, and we'll see you again next week.